Just
No, that makes sense.
Okay.
I probably should have put it in
No,
there.
it's good. Okay, that's perfect. Okay. All right, here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Heart Next Door podcast, where we explore maternal health and family wellness. Welcome, welcome. If you're here, you're home. I'm your host, Tierney, and today I have another incredible guest for you. Welcome, Chloe White. How are you doing?
I'm good. Hey, y'all.
Good. So happy to have you. Okay, so I'm gonna read her bio and then we'll dive in. If one word could describe Chloe, it would be passionate. She has a passion for people and she finds so much joy in utilizing her diverse skills to advocate and deliver value. She enjoys helping others bring their vision to life, creating something beyond what they could have imagined. She believes that any idea can be modeled into something great if given the right amount of attention to detail and utilization of resources. She is committed to helping organizations and businesses through strategic planning and execution, striving to deliver only excellence. She is currently working as a program manager for the Detroit Hispanic Development Corporation, managing the entrepreneurship and wealth building department, where she coaches small businesses, conducts business workshops, and runs a vendor market called Phantasma Market and Cafe, where they also host curated events once a month. She also runs her own business as an independent contractor, coordinating and planning events for Detroit-based businesses. She has a proven success record in creating more equitable and inclusive spaces in the event room. There is nothing more important than increasing access, representation, self-awareness, and voice through her many projects. She is also a full-time mom and enjoys quality time with her son and friends, being in nature, singing, painting, trying out different coffee shops, building Lego sets, of course as a boy mom, fashion, DIYing, and growing in her Nichiren Buddhism practice. Okay, awesome. We gotta dive into that too. Well, welcome, Chloe. So excited to have you, and I feel like this has been long overdue. I remember we met at a Black Tech Saturdays co-working event, and I was just so excited because, as you know, a lot of this journey for me came from my own journey as a mom, you know, with my two little ones, and especially my daughter. And that's how like my business formed and developed, especially like now with the recent launch of like an app and everything to support new and expecting moms. So as soon as I saw you, I was like, oh yay, another mom with a beautiful baby. Your son is so handsome, so gorgeous. So so excited and happy to welcome you on.
Well, thanks for having me.
Of course. And so I want to dive in and just first would love to just hear more about your work, especially you mentioned a lot of things that I want to touch on your bio. Okay, so let's start from the top. Let's start with your let's start just with your journey. Like, what brought you to the work that you're doing right now?
I mean, I guess I've been doing this since I was little. I tell people all that I'm living my passion, and I'm truly grateful for that.
Yeah.
I started off like in middle school with the 4-H club and doing like civic engagement events and stuff. I learned from my godmom, who was also my 8th grade teacher.
Wow.
She's my unofficial godmom, not by my parents, but you know, she became a second mom to me when I was in middle school, and she taught me everything I know. Her name is Sharia Ayer. She is the CEO for Black Leaders Detroit, actually.
Oh, wow.
And so I learned everything from her.
Yeah.
And it started from her, like, just seeing just the power and leadership in me that I didn't originally like see in myself. Like, I was always like really studious in school, but kind of like kept to myself, did my own thing, and she really took me out of my comfort zone and put me in situations to challenge me. And because of that, I owe everything that I'm doing right now to her, because I would have known that I was good at planning events and community-based events at that too. It's something I really enjoy. And so I just kind of took that and went straight through college, like high school and college, and stuck with it. Like, I knew exactly what I wanted to do when I walked into the Central Michigan University. That's where I got both my degrees from.
Yeah.
And I had a plan. Like, I was like, 4-year plan. I'm gonna do this.
Yes.
So I did entrepreneurship as my major, and then I double minor in event planning and fashion merchandising because I love fashion.
Oh, nice.
So I grew up with that. My mom worked for a fabric store when I was younger, and my grandma, they were a seamstress. And so that's already was like in the fashion world. I just remember doing like fashion shows and loving it. And then seeing my dad as an entrepreneur, he's a mechanic, so seeing how he conducted business and stuff like that. So I kind of meshed all those things from my parents and just had a love for it. Like, I used to have like lemonade stands. I had a jewelry business, all kinds of stuff. So it's been in me forever. And so really grateful for that. And when I got out of college, I didn't originally go in straight into events.
Yeah.
I kind of got deterred. You know how you have to go through life challenges. I'm like, I needed a job, so I took the first job I could get. It wasn't the best fit for me at all, but it was the drive and necessary step in my journey to get to where I am now. And so I, got laid off. I literally lost a job after that in less than a year. So I lost 2 jobs in a year. And so that was really tough for me. But it pushed me to, continue to persevere and get to where I am. And when I got pregnant with my son, I was working a part-time job. So I was working for a law firm. Wasn't what I wanted to do. Great experience, met some great folks there, but I knew this was temporary. And then I was like, I got a baby on the way. Like, I can't work part-time and take care of my son. And so I took a step out and, out of faith, and I was like, okay, let me apply for jobs. I was 6 months pregnant.
Wow.
I was scared.
Wow.
Scared out of my mind. I'm like, I don't want them to not hire me because I'm pregnant. And I'm like, I was on TikTok, everything, researching, has anybody, applied for a job 6 months pregnant? Wow. And I'm, asking everybody I know, I'm like, what should I do? I had ended up applying for jobs, got some interviews, and specifically for Detroit Hispanic Development Corporation. And I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Because I was showing, my stomach, I couldn't hide it. It was not, I could not hide it. So what I did was, I had oversized clothes. It wasn't too oversized where it looked weird. But it was enough to kind of semi-hide it. And they had no clue. Wow. They had no clue when I walked in there. And I was just so nervous. And I just remember telling myself, because I've had, encounterments with just unjust, things that, hiring and HR and all this stuff. And I'm like, I can't tell these folks that I'm pregnant because the loop around when it comes to that, they can say, oh, we went with somebody with other qualifications. You never know. You can't really prove it until afterwards.
For sure, that's so true.
And so I went in with a game plan, and I was like, I'm gonna tell them after they hand me that offer, and I signed it because what they gonna do? If they literally wanted to, do anything, I would have a case at that point.
Definitely.
And so I needed to cover everything. And so I ended up telling them after I signed the papers, and they literally hired me the next day. Wow. It was like, oh my God, we really want you. When can you start? I'm like, I can start as soon as possible. And so I went in, it was a holiday. So after the holiday, I signed the papers, and I was like, I want to be upfront and honest with y'all. And I told her, I was a little nervous to tell y'all during the interview process, and I told her I was pregnant, and she's like, congratulations. And that was not what I was expecting at all. And she was like, okay, well, okay, we gonna help you. We'll take care of whatever you need. Because I knew I was gonna be going on maternity leave very soon. For sure. So that was a blessing. That was truly a blessing. So it's kind of a little bit into
that's good. That's so beautiful. And I love, the way some themes to me that stuck out in your story is just, the power of mentorship for one, because you mentioned how much just like even everybody in your family, even your godmom poured into you and sewed into you, and that helped you to become the woman that you are, the amazing woman that you are. And then you also mentioned what I really love, just like talking about your journey and how sometimes like you knew that you had a gift for like event planning, right? But you still were trying to do like these jobs that weren't really for you, and because of that, they fell apart, right? Like,
yes, it did. It definitely fell apart. It was not the best fit. I knew. The universe knew.
Exactly, because it wasn't for you, you know, and that led you to this path. And I think that's so relatable too. I'm pretty sure so many women have been there. I've been there. I remember when I was pregnant with my son, and I wanted to, you know, figure out a better way to, you know, have more income and more stability. But I, again, was nervous about like going into interviews, like and disclosing that I was pregnant, right? And so it shouldn't be like that, though.
It shouldn't
be like that. But thankfully, you found some place that really loves you and they embraced you, and that's the way it should be. Because if they don't do it, like, for example, if you were to tell them and they said no, then that tells you that's not a place that you want to be anyway, right? You know? And you share something with me too, that, you know, after you had your son, like, how have they been, you know, as far as work, like what type of environment has it been?
So I went on maternity leave, and I didn't take the whole time because I wasn't there for a year. I wasn't getting full pay, so it was like 40% or something like that. And so I knew I had to go back to work immediately.
For sure.
Now I had a C-section, and I was supposed to get more time. I did not take the full time because I had to take care of my son. Like, I'm a single parent, and I just knew that, you know, I had to jump right back into it. And so I remember talking to them about that. I'm like, okay, so can I work from home for a little bit? So they allowed me to work from home shortly after, I think it was like four weeks or something like that. The typical maternity leave like time. And then after that, once I was ready, I think it was about like, I want to say like 6 weeks.
Okay.
I came back into working from like in person, and they allowed me to bring him in.
Oh, awesome.
And they was like, yeah, just bring him in.
Wow.
And he's been there ever since. It's like, and when I was telling you, like, he's in daycare now. He just his first day in daycare. But he's been coming to work with me ever since then.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been a little over a year, but I knew it was time for him to get into daycare because, you know, he's developing. He's grown. He's a grown boy. He's running around. I can't be as attentive as I need to.
Sure.
And especially like in my work, like I needed to be present more. And I was being I was in mommy mode 24/7. Like I didn't get to just be like turn it off. Like I had to be a mom every single second, but also be a career woman and all these things. And I'm like, oh, okay, I can't do this. It's a lot. So I'm happy that he's in daycare right now. But I'm happy for him to be engaging with more kids because he was around adults and meetings and like leadership meetings and stuff, Zoom meetings.
Wow.
But I'm grateful for that because his development is definitely like, you know, advanced because of that.
I bet. And that's so beautiful that you've had. Like, that is a dream to be able to take your child to work, because I know for me, as I shared, like with my son especially, I remember like I wasn't ready to be away from him, you know? So with both of my kids, I've been blessed to have like remote positions that allow me to still be with them, because I felt like, and actually with my son, it was hybrid where we had to go into the office. And I kind of felt like because no one else that I was working around had kids, or I was kind of the only mom, I felt like, oh, they just don't understand. Like, I can't leave him, you know? Like, he's a part of me. Exactly. Like, they literally just took him out of me. He's a part of me, you know? And that was like an emotional period for me. So I'm so happy that you had that time to be able to, like, nurture him and love him and still be a mom, a boss, right? Still be a career woman. And then now when he's ready and you're ready, you had that time to like peacefully, you know, like
it was an easy transition because of that. And then it was a huge village. Like they will always come by and they come the emotional support baby in the agency. They will come by like, hey, I'll take him. Like so everybody was taking him. So I had my moments to myself. But I was just truly grateful for that.
Yeah.
It was a huge family. Like they embraced him with open arms, and he
Mhm.
has a whole bunch of TOs and TIs, and
Oh,
so
I
like
love that.
like he has aunties and uncles there,
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
always gonna remember that. He's like so attached to a lot of them too. Like,
That's beautiful,
yeah.
and that just talks about like the importance of a village. We all need that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, what are some things that you wish people? Because it seems like you've had a dream in terms of a working environment, but not everybody's fortunate enough to have that, right? So, what are some things that you wish, not just career-wise, but just the world? I guess people who aren't necessarily moms. Like, what do you wish that people knew to help moms to be able to thrive better?
Oh
like
yeah. Man, I can go down a whole list.
that?
Like, although I was blessed to be in the position that I was, I also recognize how blessed I was because of other folks that didn't have that. And so, one thing I would say is like making it a norm for moms to be with their kids, because in other countries they get to integrate their kids into their work. They have daycares at their jobs, like like in Germany, all these places where it's the norm because it's power in that and healing as well when you're close to your children and in their development. And so that impacts the education system and all these things of contributing to economy when you put family first.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I think that we in this country don't put family first, and that's the reason why we encounter a lot of situations in these different systems. It's because it's not the center, and it should be. And so being able to do that, it's a Hispanic community where I work at, it makes sense because they're very family oriented. And so that's how they persevere through a lot of stuff. And so I was really grateful to be a part of that village and to have them because I was able to heal quicker. And although I'm still, postpartum and that never ends, I mean, it takes like probably 5 years to really get your brain back,
right?
Like,
I
feel like I
have no idea because I haven't got mine back yet.
I feel like the postpartum brain is always going to constantly, be healing and trying to get back to semi what it was, but not really. I feel like I got there a little bit quicker, and I'm able to again navigate the separation from my son right now a little bit easier because of that. And so I just really want folks to not look at people sideways when they bring their kids to work, or because there's nothing wrong with it. Now I've had instances when I'll go out because sometimes my work entails me going to different events at nighttime, like 5 to 7 or things like that. I'll bring my son with me. Like I don't have the funds to get. At the time, I didn't have funds to get him into daycare, so he had to come everywhere with me. And I have some folks look at me like, oh, like where you get your hair? I'm like, because is it preventing me from socializing with you? But then you have the folks that were really embracing of him. They was like, yes, this is the business ecosystem baby. Like we see Kenzo everywhere. Like everybody knew Kenzo. He'll be with some of my family or my godmom, and I'm not there, and they'll recognize him. They'll be like, oh my God, that's Kenzo. I know him, like, because he be everywhere. But I love that. I love that a lot. So I'm really grateful for that. But like it's normal for us to be with our kids and for us to integrate them. That should be a requirement when we have our children to be able to do that, and for me to have a career at the same time. I don't have to stay at home. If I choose to stay at home, okay. But if I want to go out and pursue my career, I should be able to have that choice as well.
For sure, without a doubt. Yes. That's so true, and I feel the same because even working from home, whenever I do anything, networking, especially, since we kind of had to build our own village out here with being away from family, I take my kids everywhere.
As you should.
And that's why I was immediately drawn to you at the event that we were at, because I almost brought my daughter. I was like, yes, another mom. So I love it. And I feel like you're right. It should be normalized. It's a beautiful thing. It's not like, yes, I have my baby, and for my baby to be able to not just like you said, he got so much developmental wisdom and knowledge from just being able to watch mom like thrive. That's how it should be. Yeah, I love that. And so I'm curious, with having Kenzo, all the time, this being your first day since he's in daycare, right? Your first day without him, really. Over the past year, being a new mom, what are some things that you've done to help you stay grounded?
honestly, it's been a roller coaster. I mean, you have your ups and downs, and I would say that leaning on my village and my faith has been the biggest thing that got me through a lot of the things that I've been dealing with in this past year. From family issues with his father, like all kinds of things that I'm navigating in these different terrains. I would say definitely faith in my community, in my village. I don't think I would have been able to get through any of that. And I feel like that's important to have a village, and I always want to be there for some people that don't too. I want to reciprocate that because I know how it feels to not have a village. Because I've been there too. I had to develop my village. I had to develop my village what made sense for my situation, because I'm no longer Chloe anymore. I'm Chloe the mom, and so my life and who I am and my identity has shifted, and I'm not who I was before. And so sometimes you can't take people along for that new journey. And so I was dealing with that, recognizing who can come along and who can't. Because you'll learn real soon who really is in your circle, in your corner, when life changes. And I'm not Chloe that can go out all the time anymore. I'm like, no, Chloe is a mom. I have priorities, I have responsibilities. And although I don't make being a mom my identity, there are just certain things like, hey, you want to come out to this event with me and my son? Come right along. But I'm not going to be the person anymore that's like, oh, let's go to the bar and all that stuff. Like maybe once in a while if I have the time, but like I'm going to integrate my child in everything